you plan your escape from corporate America? Whether you're just starting out as an entrepreneur or whether you're thinking about getting into entrepreneurship so you can escape your job, man. How do you properly plan for that? That's what we're talking about today on the Cortez Hustle Show. So do me a favor, man. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business, name of your brand, and smash that share button. You do not want to miss this. I know a lot of people are yearning to go from part-time entrepreneur to full-time entrepreneur. But listen, let me tell you this. You want to do it the right way. Take it from somebody who's got experience. I'll share my story and my journey with you guys as well. So let me know the name of the business or brand that you are building, and let's kick it.
Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from monetizemylifeacademy.com, where we help you monetize your life. It is simple, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to get this in your head. The internet has leveled the playing field, and if you learn how to use it correctly, you can take your gifts, talents, special abilities, and turn those into income streams. And that's what Monetize My Life Academy is all about. And I want to help you do that. And to prove that I can do it for you, then I want you to join the Academy for just $1 for your first month. If you like it, just stick around $47 per month. If you don't, then you can cancel anytime. There's no long-term obligation. MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. Today, we're talking about planning your escape. Right? Everybody is itching to jump off into entrepreneurship full time, but is that the best move for you? And if you are going to do it, how do you properly plan that thing so that you do not find yourself in a worse situation than you were when you had a job? So we're going to talk about that today. So comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and your brand, and smash that share button. Ladies and gentlemen, I got an announcement for today. We're going to kick off a brand new segment. I want to know what's trending in your world today. So put up what's trending on Twitter, and it looks like the most tweets that are happening on Twitter right now is hashtag Venmo me, right? Do I need to set up a Venmo account for you guys to Venmo me? Hashtag Venmo me. Thursday morning is a trending topic. Looks like the New World Order is something that people are talking a lot about on Twitter. Why should you be paying attention to trending topics as an entrepreneur? Because when you are an entrepreneur, you got to understand that you are in 3 businesses at the same time. Number 1, you're in a relationship business. Number 2, you are in the media business. And number 3, you are in the tech business. So when you understand trending topics, you can leverage those trending topics to create relationships. You can leverage those trending topics to piggyback on what people are talking about and use that in your marketing. And of course, you can use the technology of the day to find out what topics are trending, like I'm using Twitter hashtags right now. Thursday, a thunderous 6th win. I don't know what that was all about, but BTOB is something that is also trending. Look like some sort of a M-Wave dance competition. Daddy Graham, what is that about? See, when you understand these trending topics, then you can fold them into your marketing and you can literally leverage those things. Hey, Dr. Regina, Donnell, good morning. So I'll give you an example. Michael K. Williams, the actor who played Omar on the hit series The Wire, he was trending over the last couple of days, and he's probably still in the top 20, top 25 or whatever. But how could you leverage something that everybody is talking about to bring attention to you and what you're doing? One of the ways you can do that is, as an entrepreneur, if I was thinking about using the trending topic of Michael K. Williams, I could do a tribute to Michael K. Williams and say, the top 10 business lessons I learned from Omar. Shout out to Michael K. Williams. He's a great actor, and he really leaned into this role. And as I watched the series, The Wire, here are some things that I learned about business from the way Omar conducted his business on The Wire. Boom! See how you leverage trending topics to be in front of a particular audience, still related to your message, your brand. So I'm going to start doing this every single morning as we kick off the show. Of course, NFL kickoff is trending. Who's your favorite NFL team? Number 1, let me know in the comments who's your favorite NFL team. And number 2, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Because sometimes your favorite team has no shot at winning the Super Bowl. So number 1, who's your favorite NFL team? And number 2, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? In fact, who's going to win tonight's game between them boys and the defending Super Bowl champion? Howard Stern is trending this morning. Rips vaccine opponents F their freedom. I want my freedom to live. So that's okay. All right. So I'm just looking at some trending things. What's trending in your life this morning in your local area? What's popping? What's going on? You guys know I also like to start the show with the quote of the day. So let me give you that quote of the day real quick. Today's quote: running 1,000 miles in the wrong direction is better than standing still. It's an unknown quote. I don't know who said it. I heard it this morning as I was getting my workout in, but it resonated with me for one primary reason. Let me read it to you again. Today's quote of the day on the Cortez Hustle Show: running 1,000 miles in the wrong direction is better than standing still. Here's why that resonated with me: because so many people are standing still because they are afraid to make a decision, that the decision that they make will be wrong. Let me tell you the decision that you're making that is wrong. It's the decision to not decide. Because I guarantee you this: running in the wrong direction is at least going to get you some growth. It's going to get you some movement. It's going to get you some momentum. And sometimes running in the wrong direction is exactly what you need to figure out what the right direction for you actually is. Right? But you got to be willing to decide, make a move. So many people are stuck standing still because they're paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decision. Guys, not deciding is the only wrong decision in that whole scenario, right? There's nothing wrong with taking 2 steps in the wrong direction and realizing, oh, going the wrong way. Let me bust a U-turn and get going. standing still, and technically, when you think about it, there's actually no such thing as standing still, right? We're on a planet that is always rotating and revolving. So technically, standing still means you're moving backwards, right? And if you're afraid to make a move because you're afraid of making the wrong move, you're thinking wrong. You need to make an adjustment to your mental game. No, make the move, right? Ready, fire, aim. I made up my mind, I'm going to do something. I'm going to start doing it, and then I'm going to course correct along the way. So that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. The quote of the day is brought to you by the Instant Authority Blueprint 21 Days to Launch Self-Publishing course. If you, my friend, have a desire to publish your own book, bring authority to your brand, and you want to do it, whether you love to write, whether you hate to write, whether you can write, can't write, whether you want failed high school English like me, then I want to let you have access to a private masterclass that I did for a small group of people. And I explained to them how our 21 Days to Launch program can help you literally become a published author in as little as 21 days. Yes, I said that right. In as little as 21 days, you can become a published author. Comment keyword publish if you like the link to check out that master class. We're talking don't quit, man. Don't quit that job just yet. How do you properly plan for exiting the workplace if you're trying to become a full-time entrepreneur? I'll just give you a quick history on me, right? I am a full-time entrepreneur. I do have a part-time job that keeps some revenue coming in at the same time. But I spend 10 hours a day working on my business, 4 hours a day working part-time, 3 days a week. And here's the deal, y'all. The way that I left my job, I would not recommend that anybody ever leave their job in that fashion. Basically, what I did in my business is said this: if I can create enough residual and passive income to cover my largest expense, which is rent or mortgage, then I'll walk away and I'll do this full time and I'll figure out how to make up the rest of the money. Guys, that was not a well thought out plan. Now, to the grace of God, we haven't missed a meal in 4 years because this was actually going 5 years next month, because this was October 3rd, 2016. So by the grace of God, we haven't missed a meal. We haven't missed a bill. We haven't, we've taken care, been able to take care of ourselves. So I'm able to go kill something every day if I have to in order for us to eat. But there's a lot of things you have to absolutely consider before you make that move. So whether you already have a business in conjunction with your job, or you're thinking about quitting your job to go and start a full-time business, I'll tell you, the one thing that I miss the most when I left my job to become a full-time entrepreneur, I missed the revenue source that I had to invest in my business. I think this is what people miss. Not only was I able to make money to help cover the household bills and all that kind of stuff, but the extra money that I was making on my job is what I was using to buy the tools and the resources that I need, the coaching programs, to get to the trainings and the workshops and all of those things that was being funded by the job. So, whoa, Kimosabi, if you're thinking about leaving your job, I want you to consider creating a solid plan. Whether you're already in business or you're thinking about quitting a job to go and start a business, consider these things first. Planning your escape from your job. What's stopping you from just walking out of your job and starting your own business today? Is likely one of these two things: common sense or integrity. Both are very valuable commodities, common sense and integrity. Listen, common sense says you will most likely have commitments, obligations, and responsibilities that show up monthly, weekly, and even daily. It would not be smart to risk any of those commitments with any brash, cavalier action. It could cost you dearly, both in the immediate future and the long term. How many guys are full-time entrepreneurs? How many guys are thinking about leaving a job to go and pursue your full-time entrepreneurial journey? Also, you would put both yourself and your new business under immense pressure if you were under the gun right off the starting blocks. Guys, the best position to be in this economy is to have your job and have a business on the side. Now, here's what I love about the current state of affairs that we are in today, in this day and time. Because we have the internet, you can literally run a business and have a job at the same time. Because we have the internet. The internet gives us the flexibility. See, in our parents' day, in our grandparents' day, if they wanted to run a business, they had to be at the business full time. You could literally run your business from your phone on your breaks and lunches on your job, depending on the type of business that you have. So you don't always have to quit your business to become a full-time entrepreneur. I know everybody is talking about how entrepreneurship is so dang sexy, right? Got to be careful though. You got obligations. You got things that come up daily, weekly, and monthly that you need to take care of. And your job income is able to do that for you, right? And that job income can also help fund your business. It's significantly better to have the support of your family, your bank, and countless other individuals and institutions when you start a new venture. Integrity takes a long time to earn, including the integrity you have earned at your current place of work. Both you, your employers, and with your co-workers or colleagues. These could well be some very useful and influential contacts a little further down the road. Tell you how I left my job. My wife and I have been talking about it for a little while. She gave me the green light. She thought we would have a few more conversations before I actually pulled the trigger. This was one weekend, and I went into the job on Monday morning at 9 a.m. and by 9:30, I was back in my car on my way home. Typed up a quick email to my boss. Thanks, but no thanks. Deuces. I'm out. Now, a lot of times people will say, hey, man, do you regret making that decision? Right? And a lot of times people say, man, I don't regret nothing, man. It is what it is. Listen, bro, I will tell you, sis, if I had it to do it all over again, knowing what I know now, I would have done it a lot differently. Point blank and period. Right? And I know where that sentiment comes from. Well, Cortez, if you change anything, then you change everything that happened beyond that point. So would I be the dynamic marketer that I am right now? Would I even have this podcast right now? Would I be the same person that I am right now had I done that differently? Probably not. But I'm telling you, if I had it to do over again, I would have created a better plan of escape. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all I'm saying. If you have a job that you can tolerate, if you have a job where it is not stressing you to death. I had that kind of job, right? I had a lot of flexibility on my job. In fact, some might say that it was probably the perfect job to have a business at the same time. What I did not do is create balance where I could run my business. I had started letting my business overlap into my job time, right? So be careful. Now let's put a solid plan in place if you are going to leave your job to run your business full time. We're going to get into this, but right now it's time for 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. For those of you who are new, checking us out for the first time, 1 minute motivation is where we share a short motivational clip. And I'll give you a couple of takeaways I asked those of you who are watching live to comment a couple takeaways as well. But I want you to listen to this clip about happiness right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
A lot of people always asking themselves, what can I do to be happy?
Do everything you can to set up habits and take care of your mind in such a way that you generate more happiness.
No matter who you are, what walk of life you're in, number one, you have to own your own happiness. Take it away from other people demanding that they make you happy.
Happy, beautiful people. You've heard it, right? We're to be vibrant people. We're to be happy people. We're to be joyous people. But that doesn't happen by itself. What we have to do is we have to try. And the reason we have to try is because life gets in the way.
All of us have within us this amazing capacity to manifest and attract anything that we want into our life.
Man, listen. Who can admit that at some point in your life, you had charged your happiness with somebody else? Whether it's a spouse, whether it's parents, whether it's friends, you had given the power to make you happy to somebody else. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, happiness is an inside job. Period. Happiness is an inside job. So comment, what do you hear, man? What stood out to you in that micro clip? Brenda Bouchard said, set up habits that generate more happiness for you, right? Our life is a culmination of our habits, the things that we do the most, the things that we think about the most. We have created certain patterns and rhythms in our life. Do you have rhythms and patterns in your life that lead to more happiness? Or is it the opposite for you? Do you have patterns and rhythms in your life that bring stress, that bring unhappiness, that bring discord into your life? I think the biggest thing that I heard is you attract what you want in your life. And I'm going to add, how do you attract what you want in your life? By becoming more attractive. Right? What does that mean, Cortez? Listen, if you want more love in your life, then you need to become a more loving person. You need to become better at expressing and showing love, and you're going to attract love into your life. If you want more peace in your life, you got to start being a more peaceful person. You got to start bringing more peace into every situation that you're in, and you're going to start attracting more peace. Right? You have to become what you want to attract. So many people say what they want, but they live the exact opposite of what they want. So what they're doing is they're continuing to attract what they don't want. The words that come out of your mouth are very powerful. The words that you have on autoplay inside of your head are very powerful. If all you do is think about those things that you don't want, you're going to continue to attract more things that you don't want into your life. Some of us want to be wealthy, but all we talk about is how we don't have money. All we talk about are the things that we cannot afford. And we never ask ourselves, how can we afford them? We never ask ourselves, how can we position ourselves differently in this economy so that we can get more out of it? How can we bring prosperity into our lives, right? So that is, my friends, 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. 1 minute motivation is brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy, the premier digital marketing mastermind for new entrepreneurs who are looking to get the most out of the internet and mainly social media, things like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Do you want to do video marketing, email marketing? What do you know about affiliate marketing? What do you know about networking and building groups and masterminds and memberships? Guys, I got all of those things laid out for you, course by course, play by play, line by line. All you got to do is plug in. Go to monetizemylifeacademy.com. You can try it out for the first 30 days for $1. This month's mastermind meeting, we're talking about creating online courses. I'm actually going to show you how you can use the platform that I use to create your online courses. Some of you guys have some great content and information that you want to teach. You just don't know how to package it and present it. I'm going to be talking about that in our mastermind meeting this month. So go check it out for $1. Once you signed up, you can actually attend this month's meeting on the 15th, which is a Wednesday, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're talking planning your exit from your job, planning your escape. How do you leave a job to pursue entrepreneurship full time? So consider these ideas before you just pull a Cortez hustle and just walk away, right? Number one, get an insider's opinion, right? If you can get an insider's view of that business, whatever business you're trying to start, right? And or whatever business you're running, talk to people who are doing that business full time and find out how it's going, right? Standing on the outside looking in is a lot different from being on the inside looking out. It could save you a lot of time and money. So basically what you're going to do, find someone who has already walked that path you intend to tread and ask them, if you were doing this all over again, what would you do differently? I would have planned my finances differently. I would have planned my business structure differently. I would have set some mile markers to better grow my business to a certain point before I just walked away. The answers will probably be the most valuable conversation you could possibly have for your new business. So number one, you're thinking about taking the leap, jumping out of the employer or employee world and into entrepreneurship full time, whether this is a new business for you or whether you're already in business and you're just doing your business part time and you're thinking about going full time. Find somebody who is doing your business full time and ask them, what is it like? How long have you been doing it full time? If you had to do anything differently, would you? What would you do differently? How would you have exited your job if there are some things that you would have changed? Number two, solve this question before you lose or leave your job. And it's interesting that I said lose because I believe that everybody should have a business in conjunction with their job for that purpose alone. What if you lose your job? Are you being held captive to the person that you've given permission to feed you? What does that mean? My girl Nikisha D. Smith will say all the time, if you give someone permission to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. So right now, if your only source of income is your job, you're giving someone else permission to feed you. And if that's the only source of income that you have, and they take that job away, you're also giving them permission to starve you. Dr. Lynn Richardson says it this way: having one stream of income is hazardous to your wealth. Now, I know some of y'all are playing with fire right now. Cortez, listen, unemployment is so good right now. If I lose my job, I'm gonna be on. Listen, man, this pandemic money ain't gonna be around forever. Yeah, I know some of you guys have left jobs and your unemployment is more than what you was making on your job. this pandemic money ain't gonna be around forever. And what y'all don't realize about entrepreneurship, let me just speak to y'all who are playing with fire in this way. What you don't realize about real entrepreneurs, and wherever you work, your company is owned by some real entrepreneurs. I can guarantee you that, unless you work for the government, and that's a whole different thing. Right? But what you got to understand about entrepreneurs is those that do this at a high level, we are really, really, really good at making adaptations. So what you're doing is you're sitting on the sideline saying, I can collect more unemployment than I can getting paid for working a job. What your employer is saying is, we've got to figure out how to be equally as profitable or more with a smaller staff. And it doesn't take long for entrepreneurs to figure things out. So what happens is, you went and got that unemployment money. You went and got that PPP money. But when this stimulus money runs out, this pandemic money runs out, you're going to want to go back to a job that's not going to be there. Why? Because your employer was forced to learn how to run their company off a smaller staff. Now it's like, y'all showed us that we don't really need as many employees as we thought. Our revenues are actually up now that we have a smaller staff. Now all of a sudden, those jobs ain't gonna be there. Some of you guys are living off the PPP money. Some of you guys are living off of unemployment, and your credit is taking a hit. And when this pandemic money runs out, you're gonna be looking to go and get a job. And the first thing your employer is going to do is check your credit. Listen, man, I'm just telling y'all. So if you are in a position where you have a full-time job, you should be looking at adding a business and another stream of income. If you are in a position where you've walked away from your job because you got PPP money, because you're getting unemployment, you need to be looking at leveraging that income, leveraging that revenue, that money, and creating another income source for you so you don't have to go back to a job. I'm just saying. How will you generate a profit? It's important to figure this out to the best of your ability. The easiest and most effective way of generating a profit from your new business. Do you have the money-making plan? When I left my job, I had already built a residual income. So that money was going to come in whether I did anything or not. So now my thinking was, since my biggest bill is covered with a residual check, four-figure residual check, I was like, boom. Now I can take all of my time every month. That is covered. Now I got to go and make $400 or $500 for a car note. Now I got to go and I got 30 days to make $400 or $500 for us to live. I got to make another $400 or $500 for just ancillary expenses, right? And I was like, okay, if I got my biggest thing out the way, residually, that money is coming whether I do something or not. And then I can go out and hustle up on the rest of the money every month. Guys, that was some of the most backwards thinking I have ever thought in my life. I should have built my residual income to $5,000 a month. So all of that stuff is covered. And then I can go out and build every month other revenue streams. So when people ask me, would you have done anything different? I know what I went through these last 4.5, almost 5 years made me who I am today. And maybe doing things differently would have made me a better person today. Who knows? But yes, I would have done things differently. So you got to figure out how you're going to generate profits in your business. You got to know how much profit you need to generate in your business. What? Yeah. How much profit do you actually need to generate in your business to manage your life, right? Talk a lot about knowing your numbers, income, cash flow, credit scores, interest rates that you're paying on your debts, interest rates that you are earning on your investments. Do you know your numbers, expenses, right? Number 3, how will you scale up? Not only how will you scale up, are you even in a business? Are you looking at a business model that even has room for you to scale up? Oh, some people jumped out of the ship to start their business in the restaurant industry in early 2021 and then early 2020. And then we had a global pandemic that shut their business down. So as soon as their business started, it was over. Do you even know how to scale up your business? Are you even in a business model that allows for scale, right? Determine what you need to have in place to scale it to to handle ever larger volumes of customers. Customers are the key because they are the people who will provide your profit. This is why talking to someone who is doing this full time, they can give you the lay of the land. Hey, you need to be bringing in $20,000 in revenue every month. You need to pay $12,000 to your team. You need to pay another $2,000 to your resources, and then $6,000 a month is your profit. How do you get to that level? It's going to take you X, Y, and Z to get to that level where you got $20,000 worth of rep. Are you even talking to people who are doing it full time to understand how you can make this move yourself? Number 4, how much time do you need to get the business started? Determine how much time you have available to get your business off the ground. Naturally, the more effort and energy you put into it, the quicker everything will go. Again, going back to point number 1, when you talk to someone who has done it, I didn't take the time to talk to someone who had done this full time to understand exactly what was at stake, exactly how much it was going to cost me in terms of time. Right? How long will it take for your business to generate some meaningful profit? Make a reasonable estimate based on information collected. We're talking about preparing your escape from your job, whether you want to just leave and start a business full time, or whether you already have a part-time business and you're thinking about leaving your job to do it full time. This is a critical decision. And I'm not telling you one way or the other, right? I felt for me at that time, it was a good move for me to make. I bought my time back with some residual income, and I wanted to learn how to use that time. And a lot of good has come out of that. I've learned how to become one of the best marketers on the planet because I had to. I don't know if I had done it differently, if I would not have had to learn all the things that was required for me to learn to go out and kill something so we can eat every day, would I have done it? I just don't know, my friends. Nevertheless, I still would have done things differently if I had to do it over again. Let's see. Once you determine these aspects, it should be possible to calculate with some reasonable level of certainty what needs to be done in order for you to create a timeline for escaping your current employment. Listen, man, it is very easy to allow your emotions to drive this decision, right? But I want you to use both. Yes, emotions are important. Your gut, your intuition, your instincts, you got to learn how to listen to them as an entrepreneur. But you also have to learn how to listen to your practical side, your logical side. And it's the blending of those two that makes a successful business work. And a lot of times, I'm just going to tell you, if you look at a lot of the top businesses, the most successful businesses, very few have just one person who is blending both of these together. A lot of times it is two people. It is one who is the genius, intuitive, instinctive, creative, really emotion filled and driven. And it is somebody else who balances that person with logic, with practicality, and they come together. And the meeting of those two minds makes something special. Very few people have the creative genius and the practical, logical mind blended in a way where they can build something special. And that's where a lot of us actually fall off. My mentor, Henry Doris, would say that's where most solopreneurs are literally killing themselves in their businesses, trying to do everything themselves. And you need that other set of eyeballs, because you will tell yourself that, yeah, I can think with my emotions and I can think logically, but you can't be a 10 at both. Very rarely that someone is a 10 at both of those things. So a wise way to start your business. So now you can quit your job right. Hold on. You're almost there. So you got to also consider this. Many smart people get their business into the marketplace by working part-time from home while they keep their regular job intact. That's what I've been telling y'all for the last 6 years. Even if it takes 9 months or a year or even a couple of years to get it working efficiently and effectively, it's got to be worth it, right? Remember, to factor in some wiggle room for the unexpected, some downtime, and even some holidays. Talk to people who have already made this kind of transition to get a clearer idea on what is reasonable and doable for someone in your situation. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's sexy to want to be a full-time entrepreneur, to own your schedule, to create and own your own thing. Listen, some of you guys, and I hope I can say this and we still be friends. Some of you guys want to be your own boss because you don't want to work for somebody. And you're a horrible employee for somebody else. Now tell me if I can say this and we can still be friends. Now, I don't want to lose no friends over this. I don't want to work for nobody, so I want to be my own boss. But while you're working for someone, you are the most horrible employee in the history of employees. How do you think that's going to translate into a business? Can I keep it all the way 100? Can we talk real talk? You are the most horrible employee for somebody else. And you think you're going to become your best employee when you get into entrepreneurship full time. It doesn't work that way. In fact, I would encourage each and every single one of you, if you're going to go into entrepreneurship full time and you have a job right now, I want you to go into that job every day and become the kind of employee that you want to hire as the first person you hire for your company. Think about it. When you go into full-time entrepreneurship, you are the first person you hire for your company. If the type of employee you are right now, and you sent yourself the resume, knowing all of the backstory behind how you actually perform, how you barely show up 2 minutes before your shift starts, how you leave 2 minutes before your shift is over, how you take an extra 10, 15 minutes on a lunch break, how you, come on now, This the type of employee you're gonna build your company on. This is gonna be the first employee that you hire. You have an opportunity, if you have a job, to go into that job and start transitioning into becoming the type of employee that you will be ecstatic to hire. Think #1 draft pick. Think #1 draft pick. Because that's what you're doing. You're about to risk it all, walk away from an income, walk away from a situation, and you are your #1 draft pick that you're going to build your franchise around. If you're a franchise player, then I want you to put franchise in the comments. Are you a franchise player? That's the question you should be asking yourself before you leave your job. Are you a franchise player? Are you a #1 top 10 pick that I can build my entire franchise around and get me into the playoffs every year? Get me to a championship with the right pieces around you. That's what you got to ask yourself. Work smarter, not harder. Remember, your new business should have no requirement for you to work 40, 50, or 60 hours a week. Your intent is to move on up in terms of profit and income potential and move down in terms of time needed to create. This is where you got to understand systems. This is why before you leave your job, joining the Monetize My Life Academy Mastermind might be a good move for you, so you can put systems in place that can make money with or without you. Seriously consider working smarter, not harder. If hard work was any guarantee of success, most people would already be wealthy. Let me run that back. If hard work was a guarantee of success, most people will already be wealthy. Because contrary to what you might hear in the media and the news and all this kind of stuff, most people do work hard. But it takes more than hard work to get to success. It takes more than hard work to get to success. It's not about working hard. Your success will come from having a plan, an effective strategy, and the discipline and enthusiasm to follow through on it. Success loves two things. It loves speed and it loves enthusiasm. #1, I said, go to work and become that kind of employee. Show up early, stay late. Volunteer for all of the extra tasks and things that you need. Because guess what? When you become an entrepreneur, you have to do all of that stuff yourself. So become the type of employee that really can become a franchise player that you can build your entire franchise around. #2, check your enthusiasm about going into that job every day. If you know that the end is coming on your job, you should be fired up going into that job every day. Because I promise you, you're going to have to manufacture that enthusiasm as an entrepreneur every single day if you want to win in this game. Once you're confident that you have a profitable business plan and you're working part-time on your business and showing some profits, that's the time for you to work out a sensible plan to quit your job. Yes, all it takes is a little patience, but remember, all things in their season. Soon you'll be looking back at the job and you once had and looking forward to a greater profit in your own business. Don't jump out that thing too early, y'all. Now, I will tell anybody, if your job is stressing you the heck out, you need to get the heck out. But that might mean you go from one job to another. And let me say this. As an entrepreneur, you got a business or you got a business idea or a business plan, the type of job you choose is critically important. If I had to go back and get a job right now with my business and my company set up the way that it is, I would be selective with how I choose that job. I need a job with flexibility. I need a job that is, I may not be going for a job with the most pay, because the most pay usually means the most responsibility. No, I might need to just go into a job. I left my company, the job that I had when I left corporate America. I was in management. If I had to go get a job to sustain my family right now, I probably wouldn't be going to seek a management job, because they wouldn't get the manager that left corporate America, because my ambition and my motive is different. See, choosing the right job, if you have the opportunity to choose a job, is important for us entrepreneurs. Choose a job where you can go and learn something and enhance your skills that will make your business better. Oh man, I might go take an entry-level job in somebody's marketing department so that I can learn marketing from a big company perspective. Because I'm doing it as a solopreneur, I'm doing it as a personal brand, but ultimately my goal is to build iHustle Media into a conglomerate to the likes of competing with Disney and Ted Turner. So if I wanted to go get a job, I would go look at a job that says, okay, I need to learn this media game. So I'm going to go and get me an entry level, something in the area of media where the pressure isn't that great. I've got great flexibility, and I got the income that I need to supplement my business income, if that's where you are in your journey. If you know entrepreneurship is the game for you, then choose a job that will allow you to do your entrepreneurship at the same time. Understand how having a business and a job affects you from a tax standpoint, and leverage that. Leverage that. If you have a job and a business, you should not be giving all your money to Uncle Sam up front. When you reposition yourself in this economy, you're allowed to pay your taxes on the back end. An employee pays his taxes up front. In fact, the government don't even trust you. They take your taxes up front. Business owners get to pay their taxes on the back end. That's a radical shift. That means you get all of your money up front. You get to invest in your business, do the things that you need to do, and then you pay taxes only on your profits. An employee pays taxes on everything they earn with their labor. A business owner pays taxes not on everything they earn. They might have $100,000 in revenue, but after all of the expenses that they had to make that $100,000, they may only have $10,000 in profit, and they're going to pay taxes on the $10,000. You make $100,000 with your labor, you paying taxes on almost all of that $100,000. Now you do get a standard deduction, $12,440, something like that, right? And I'm not a tax professional, so don't quote me on that. But you make $100,000 with your labor, and you're going to pay taxes on all of that minus the standard deduction. So you're going to pay taxes on somewhere around $87,000. I make $100,000 with business because I spent money to make that money. I get to subtract all the money that I spent to make that money, and then I pay taxes only on the profits. Well, watch this. If you have a job and you have a business, you get all of the benefits of a business. Even if it's a business you're working part-time, 4 hours a week. Yeah, that's a law. A Supreme Court decision said that if you're working your business 4 hours a week, it is considered a legitimate business. Supreme Court precedents. 45 minutes a day. And if you're working a full-time job, you're not going to sit here and tell me you don't have 45 minutes a day to save $15,000 a year in taxes. Just saying. So at the end of the day, y'all, being an entrepreneur sounds really sexy, but there's a lot that goes into it. It's like when I say that I am a God, right? Under the Most High God. What does that mean? That means I am fully responsible for the entire world that I am creating for myself. And if my world is upside down, I've got to take responsibility for that. Well, as an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur, you are fully responsible for everything, man. And that's a huge responsibility that you cannot take lightly. That's why most people are employees, because they can't handle that responsibility. They can't handle that level of responsibility. When you went to your job, was there a building already there? Yes. When you went to your job, was there a phone system already in place? Yes. When you went to your job, was there computers already there for you to work on? Yes. When you went to your job, did they already have a customer list for you to call and sell stuff to? Yes. When you went to your job, was all of that stuff in place? Yes. Well, guess what? The entrepreneur who started that company is responsible for all of that stuff. And I don't say this to scare people from entrepreneurship, because I believe that the shortest distance between working class and wealth is entrepreneurship. If you're trying to build wealth and you're trying to get it out the mud, you got to go through entrepreneurship. It's just, there's no other way to say it, right? But it takes a tremendous amount of responsibility on yourself personally to get up and show up in your business every day. And then as you start accumulating the stuff, you're responsible for other people and their well-being and their livelihood as well. Tremendous amount of responsibility. Don't be scared by it. Understand it and embrace it and take it seriously. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for today's show. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, the podcasting station that you listen to. Make sure you subscribe and go ahead and give us a rating. Do you like the show? Do you not like the show? What can we do to make it better? I want to know. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're seeing this at, make sure you subscribe or follow that page. Till I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.